Good afternoon and welcome to Storytelling Through Dance. I am Rudaba al-Nahdiya of the Shire of Croston in the West Kingdom. Thank you for coming to my class. Today we shall explore the stories of washerwomen, of weavers, and of chestnuts, through respectively Washerwoman's Brawl, Belfiore, and Chestnut, the English country dance. We will start with Washerwoman's Brawl, followed by Belfiore at approximately minute 9, and finally Chestnut at approximately minute 33. And now on to Washerwoman's Brawl. Gentlefolk along the sign, won't you come along with me? Gentlefolk along the sign, won't you come along with me? Scolding, swaying, bickering, swaying, scolding, bickering. Beat out the dirt, 'cause there still is work to do. Beat out the dirt, kick the rugs to shake them out. Washerwoman's Brawl is a 16th century dance by Arbol. As a mimed brawl, it takes its influences from what it's trying to mime. In Washerwoman's case, it is the shaking of the fingers and the stepping to the left and right with the hands on the hips. This is because as washerwomen, they were rather poor, and poverty leads to stress. Stress leads to fights. So while one party is scolding the other defiantly is standing there and saying, "Nope, I am right." And then they turn around and scold the other party, well, the first party, which defiantly stands there and says, "I am right and I know it." Ugh. In brawls, there's a double brawl and the single brawl. Like so. Double left. Step and step together. Step and step together will form a double right. For a single, that's half of that. So it is step together. Single right is step together. Washerwoman's Brawl goes thusly. Double left. Double right. Single left and right. With the hands on the hips. Shaking, or it's reversed, depending on which party you are. Generally, the person that does this first, followed by this finger shaking, is the lady. And the lord will do the finger shaking first, and then the hands on the hips. After which comes a double brawl, but with clapping. Nothing while going on the right, clapping on the left. Then kicking 1, 2, 3, 4. The front part is setting up that it is a brawl. As such, to me it speaks of people gathering along the banks of the Seine. Right and right together. Left and left together. Right and right together. And then the fight. Lords shake while ladies put their hands on the hips. Ladies shake while lords put their hands on the hips. And then I interpret the clapping as beating out the dirt. So beat, 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 beat. And then retrieving more laundry. Beat, 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 beat. Beating to scrub out the dirt. And then kicking, because there are some things that should not be washed. They should just have their dust shaken from them. While Arbot does not write that you're supposed to hold something in front of you, or mime holding something in front of you, I feel it helps to add to the story. So kick, kick, kick. And the carpets and rugs are all shaken out. So, gathering along the side. More gathering. Some more gathering. Everybody getting together, and then the fight breaks out. Beating out the dirt. Going back for more. Beating out the dirt. Kicking the carpet. A demonstration now. Gathering along the banks of the Seine. Scolding. Defiance. Beating out the dirt. Beating out the dirt. Kicking out the carpet. Gathering along the Seine. Scolding. Defiance. Beating out the dirt. Beating out the dirt. Kicking the carpet. Gathering along the Seine. Scolding. Defiance. Beating out the dirt. Beating out the dirt. And now from the ladies' point of view. Gathering along the Seine. Defiant against oppression. Reverse scolding. Beating out the dirt. Beating out the dirt. Kicking the carpet. Gathering along the Seine. Defiant. Scolding. Beating out the dirt. Beating out the dirt. Kicking the carpet. Gathering along the Seine. Defiance. Scolding. Beating out the dirt. Beating out the dirt. Kicking the carpet. First we travel in 12 PV, leader's choice whichever way. We will dance around the room, thankful for YouTube and Zoom. 4 more PV, 3 more PV, 2 more PV, last one yay. First person goes away, second one goes away, third person goes away. Move 1, move 2, move 3. First person turns around, second one turns around, third person turns around. 1 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. 2 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. 3 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. Change the head. 2 leaves leftward, then goes between, comes to the top, starts as new. 1, First we travel in 12 PV, leader's choice whichever way. We will dance around the room, thankful for you to bend zoom. 4 more PV, 3 more PV, 2 more PV, last one, yay. First person goes away, second one goes away, third person goes away, move 1, move 2, move 3. First person turns around, second one turns around, third person turns around, 1 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. 2 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. 3 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. Change the head. 2 leaves leftward, then goes between, comes to the top, starts as new 1. First we travel in 12 PV, leader's choice whichever way. We will dance around the room, thankful for you to bend zoom. 4 more PV, 3 more PV, 2 more PV, last one, yay. First person goes away, second one goes away, third person goes away, move 1, move 2, move 3. First person turns around, second one turns around, third person turns around, 1 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. 2 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. 3 leaves leftward, goes down the set, ends at the right. Change the head. 2 leaves leftward, then goes between, comes to the top. Now we are done. Belfiore is a theatrical dance composed in the 15th century by Domenico da Piacenza in honor of the castle Belfiore by the Este family. To me, the dance tells of the journey of a weaver, and much like Maestro Domenico choreographed it in honor of the Este family's summer palace, I included it in a recent ball for one of the local leaders as she had recently gotten an award for her weaving. It starts out with 3 friends going about their day. They discover a fiber arts group and are very interested. As such, they start off by learning how to spin. Having made a good length of yarn, they put it onto the weaving shuttles. They change the header and start upon their journey of making very beautiful woven patterns. The dance starts out with a travel section. I've denoted the first, second, and third dancers by a triangle, a square, and a pentagon, respectively, because throughout the dance, their permutations will change. This travel section takes about a third of the dance and consists of the person in the lead going about the room in any direction that they choose. This corresponds to the friends going about in their normal lives. After everyone goes around the room together, it is time for solos. The first solo section is a chase. The first person will go away, the second person following them, and the third person following them. The next section is where the first person does a thing, the second person does a thing, and then the third person does a thing. The third section is where the first person turns over their left shoulder in a full turn, the second person does the same, and finally the third person turns over their left shoulder. The chase part corresponds to them discovering the fiber arts group. The part where they do a thing corresponds to them discovering, ooh, interesting. And the turn over the left shoulder is where they, as drop spindles, start creating the yarn. We come now to the section where there is a lot of debate. However, it is generally said that the first person goes either to be behind the third person or to the right of the third person. I personally choose to put the first person to the right of the third because the next section happens very fast and there is not that much time to move. The second and third basically follow what the first did. However, their end is the person that just moved before them. So the second person would either go behind the first or to the right of the first. In this case, to the right of the first. The third person would either go behind again or to the right of the second. In this case, to the right of the second. There are at least 3 versions of how this section is done in use at the moment, based on 9 different conflicting sources. And now the friends are acting as the yarn and going around and around the weaving shuttle. As mentioned, this section is very, very fast. In the time of dum dum dum, the third person must go to the first person's original place, and the first person to the third person's original place. The second person stays where they are. The order is literally reversed, and instead of person 1 as the head, it is now person 3 as the head and person 1 as the tail. What is one key component of a loom? Why, it is the header, which brings the warp strings that were behind in front and those that were in front behind. I largely credit this one as the weaving figure. For the person who was in the second place, which did not do the end switch, is actually the one acting as the yarn, going around the end, through the original spot, and into the front. When you are weaving, the yarn goes behind and in front, and behind and in front, and behind and in front. The second person is now the leader. This is also known as the figure 6. The dance continues again, now with the second person in front, followed by the third, followed by the first. All the solos happen, and then the changing of places, and then the waving figure. The pattern of the dance continues now with the third person, followed by the first, followed by the second. And finally, at the end of everything, you should return to your places with the first person in first, second person in second, and third person in third. We will now discuss the steps. This is a piva. To do it, you take 3 steps in the time of 4 beats. So for example, step and step, step and step, step and step, step and step. This is propelled entirely by the body. Next, we will do a double. In the 15th century, it was almost interchangeable with a piva. To do it, you take 3.5 steps in the time of 4 beats. As such, step and step together, step and step together, step and step together. Body still goes forward, feet go down. A mess of movimenti. Usually, they are thought to be improvisational steps. However, in Belfiore, you actually use them to greet the people in front or behind you during your turn. So for example, the first person would greet the people behind them. The second, both in front and behind. The third, the people in front. Volta tonda. Calling it full turn makes it very self-evident. You turn around in 4 steps in 4 beats. Turn 2, 3, 4. Turn 2, 3, 4. In Belfiore, it is always to the left. Next, we will cover the contrapasso. To do a contrapasso, you take 3 steps in 4 beats. On the 4th, you undercut with your back foot. So you bring it forward to be just underneath your front foot. Contrapasso also indicates a style of sequence because on the last 4-beat measure of that, you will actually be taking 2 steps rather than 3. Belfiore starts contrapasso on the left foot. Step, 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 undercut, step, 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 undercut, step, step. Left, right, left, undercut, left, right, left, undercut, left, right. Those were 3 contrapasso sequences. Belfiore also uses a 4 contrapasso sequence. This is done as a solo by the second person in a figure 6, around the last person, then through their original place and back to the front to lead. So that's around the third person, through their original place, and in front to lead. Starting on the left, left, right, left, undercut, left, right, left, undercut, left, right, left, undercut, left, right. Step, 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 undercut, step, 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 undercut, step, 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 undercut, step, step. So this way, 2 goes around 3 and ends up in the first person's position. The undercutting may have given rise to the 16th century dances called contrapasso, which do not use this sequence. Belfiore is divided into 3 sections. All of them are pretty much the same, except for who is in the lead. The first, friends wandering around in their normal lives, is done as a travel sequence of 12 pieve. That's the step and step while your body goes forward, and your feet are just there to support you. Then comes solos in a line, the first part being the chase, where they discover, fiber arts. The person in front goes away in a double. That's the stomp, stomp, stomp. Second person catches up, stomp, stomp, stomp. Third person catches up, stomp, stomp, stomp. Then the first person does a movimento towards his fellows to greet them. The second greets the front and behind. The third greets the people in front. That's the part where they go, interesting, hello friends. And then they mime the drop spindles by turning. Person 1 does a voltatonda, which is a full turn over their left shoulder. Person 2 the same, then person 3 also turns. Now acting as the yarn to be put onto the shuttle, person 1 does a 3 contrapassi sequence to end up on the right of person 3. Person 2 does a 3 contrapassi sequence to end up on the right of person 1. And person 3 does a 3 contrapassi sequence to be on the right of person 2. That's the step, 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 undercut, step, 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 undercut, step, step. The changing of the header, where person 1 goes behind and person 3 in front, is done in a double. Stomp, stomp, stomp. And finally, person 2, as the yarn goes behind person 3 through their place and in front of person 1 in a 4 contrapassi sequence. So that's step, 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 undercut, step, 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 undercut, step, 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 undercut, step, step. And now for a demonstration. Starting and ending in the first person's position. to second person's position. Third person in third person's position. First we go all up a double, and then we go back to place, then again all up a double, then we return back to place, back away and cross over, and then we are the little fires circling under the chestnuts that are roasting, yum. Back away and cross over, and then we are the little fires circling under the chestnuts that are roasting, yum. Then we arm with the right arm, because it was printed so. Next we arm with the left arm, because it was printed so. Back away and cross over, and then we are the chestnuts, stir-fried in a half, hey, so the first becomes the last. Back away and cross over, and then we are the chestnuts, stir-fried in a half, hey, and so back to home at last. Finally we get to side. Right shoulders will nearly touch, woohoo, we are free to side. Left shoulders will nearly touch, back away and cross over, and now that the chestnuts are done, fill the bag by following the first couple inside path. Back away and cross over, and now that the chestnuts are done, take the chestnuts out by casting up and follow outside path. Chestnut is an English country dance by Playford. Usually in English country dances, you have up a double and back, siding and arming. In up a double and back, you take hands with your partner. Ladies, put your left hand on your lord's right hand. So the lord's right hand will be supporting the lady's left hand. And you walk up, meaning towards the present, and back away. And that again. Up, 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, back, 2, 3, 4. For siding and arming, you'll be facing your partner. Walk towards your partner slightly to your left, such that your right shoulders will be very close to each other, and then back away. And then repeat this on the other side, such that your left shoulders will be very close to each other because you walked slightly to the right and back. An unmirrored demonstration. Side right and back. Side left and back. For arming, take your partner's forearm and go around through their place back to your own. Careful to tuck your thumb next to your fingers so that you don't cause your partner's injuries. Arm right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Arm left, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Referring to the original verses of Chestnut as printed, rather than siding and arming, you actually will have arming then siding. Once we take a look at the choruses, you will see why I think it may have been right. As there are multiple versions online of Chestnut with siding first rather than arming, this class will go over arming then siding as its main version in order to give you an option. Of course, always listen to whoever the leader of the ball is. We come now to Chestnut's signature move. Back away, cross over. It does not really matter whether you cross over on the left or the right. Just don't crash into them. It goes back 2, 3, 4, cross 2, 3, 4. As per normal in English country dances, you will start Chestnut with up a double and back, walking towards the presents and then backing away from them. Up 2, 3, 4, back 2, 3, 4. And that again. Up 2, 3, 4, back 2, 3, 4. And then you'll do the signature move. Back away, cross over. And then the first half of the chorus. The chorus that goes with the first verse is circles. So first you will circle one way, and then you'll go back, cross over, and circle the other way. Generally speaking, you will go left first and then right. This is because in other dances of a similar time period, you'll go left to start and then right to come back to where you were. These circles are done along your column, so you will not be interacting with your partner, but rather with the people in front of and behind you. For example, the first person will be interacting solely with the people behind them, and the third person will be interacting with the people in front of them. Of course, the middle will be interacting with the person in front and behind them. Numbering away from the presents, you have 1, 2, and 3. 1 and 3 will join hands, 1 and 2 will join hands, and 2 and 3 will join hands in order to make that circle. In the second part of Chestnut, you have half haze for your chorus. As pictured on the right, you will go through one place and into the other. Person 1 falling into 3, person 3 falling into 1, and actually person 2 going through one of the places back to home, and then the other place and back to home. You see 2 circles per column forming that figure 8, and arming, feet-wise, is circles, except that you're holding arms. And so in section 2 of Chestnut, you'll arm right, and then arm left, and then back away, cross over. Person 1 faces 2 and 3 and does a half hay in the set. Back away, cross over. Person 1 faces the rest of the set and continues the hay. Generally speaking, We start haze by passing right first and then left from the viewpoint of person 1, which means that for completing the hay, you'll actually want to pass left first and then right, but it's generally just done as passing right first. Of course, always listen to the person in the middle and don't crash. Once again, we turn our attention to the chorus first. The top couple will face down the set like they did in the previous chorus and take inside hands. This actually, because they're facing down, will be the right for the lady and the left for the lord. The lord still supporting the lady's hand, of course, going down the inside and everybody else following. So 2 will move into 1's position and face down and go down. They should end up back home. Couple 3 will go through couple 2's position, go through couple 1's position, turn down, and face each other for back away and cross over, because they are actually in the right position when they are in the first couple's position. The third chorus in Chestnut is actually the tricky one, because now the first couple will face away from the other 2 and cast from each other to go back to the top. The second going through their place, which is the original third couple's places, cast and come back home. The third couple will go all the way back home and cast in turn, because they are, of course, at the right place, after following couple 1 all the way through the figure. As you can see, there is an inside path and an outside path. What is one of the 3 verses of Chestnut? Siding. That's why I think you should side right, back to your home, side left, go back to home, then back away, cross over, take the inside path, back away, cross over, take the outside path, and that will give you the entirety of Chestnut. The choruses in Chestnut are the storytelling elements. In most stoves, the heating element is either in a ring or a disc. This is formed in the dance by taking hands with your friends and circling, which is what you do in the first chorus. There are many ways of stirring, sometimes around and around, and sometimes in a figure-8 motion. When I have seen chestnuts roasting, they have always required stirring in order to achieve even heat distribution, thus mixing up the nuts. This is achieved in the second chorus when person 1 and person 3 exchange places, and person 2 goes through one of those places before returning home. In chorus 3, it is in first and then out. Of course, when you have a chestnut vendor, he'll want to fill the bag first, and then you'll be able to take the nuts out and actually eat them. And so the story of chestnuts talks first about the fires that are under those chestnuts that are heating them, and then about the chestnuts that are being mixed around, and finally about putting them into a bag and taking them out of the bag. We have now covered every part of Chestnut: the signature move, the verses, and the choruses. The signature move comes before each half of the chorus. So for example, in the first chorus, you would go back away, cross over, and then circle. Then you would go back away, cross over, and circle again. And now chestnut in all 6 positions. For reference and practice: man 1, woman 1, man 2, woman 2, man 3, woman 3. That was first man. This is first woman. That was first woman. This is second man. That was second man. This is second woman. Now going from second woman to third man. And finally, last woman, or third woman. Thank you. This has been Storytelling Through Dance. Please join me in extending a heartfelt thanks to Maestra Nicolosa de Eisenfear, who uploaded this video, to the musicians who generously donated their music, as well as the university staff for the Atlantian Winter University 2022. Finally, thank you again for coming to this class, and I hope that it has been inspirational.